Welcome to the first Insider Session, prioritizing people, enhancing user experiences through accessible portals. I'm Krause, Senior Vice President of our innovation team here at Naviant. I'm extremely excited to share all this amazing content with you in this short time together. So let's start off with a little quote. Accessibility allows us to tap into everyone's potential. That is the key reason why you want to have accessible portals. Everyone gets to participate, and you're going to see lots of these benefits throughout the examples I share going forward. So what exactly is an accessible portal? Well, accessible portals aim to provide equal digital access and empower everybody to interact with online platforms effectively and independently. And you're going to see example after example of this. And a portal itself, a lot of times people think it's this really critically different thing from a website. Well, a website is just an anonymous portal. A portal typically has a user login that provides a more personalized experience. It doesn't have to, but it's certainly one of the key differentiators for a portal is have a little security in there so you can have a more personalized experience. So what exactly makes it accessible? Well, there are some compliance standards for accessibility. The first one being WCAG 2.2, which is the latest standard. That's for Web Content Accessibility Guideline. That's what WCAG stands for. Of course, American for Disabilities Act, or ADA, and Section 508 are the three most popular ones that we see out there. And that is something that will show you how to determine if your portal or if your site is accessible. And there are all kinds of content types. Everyone thinks of a website. And of course, that makes total sense that we need to have that be accessible because we want everybody to be able to interact with us. What about your mobile application, social media posts, your electronic documents, especially PDFs? I know it was something for me. I never even imagined that the PDF itself didn't meet the accessibility requirements. So the fact that I had that content out there and they couldn't actually see or read it, the screen readers couldn't use it, means I didn't meet the accessibility requirement. So you want to consider that. And of course, if you interact, these requirements are usually given towards the government space. But a lot of times, third-party suppliers who interface with or payment providers that interface with these government websites also must meet the requirements or you are out of compliance. So you really have to look holistically across your portal portfolio to ensure that you're within compliance. And what are some of the main reasons you'd want to make sure your portal is accessible? Well, first and foremost, improved access to information and services. Removing those barriers, allowing everybody to participate, ensures that you will have a great user experience. That's the first piece. Now, that enhanced user experience means I'm going to stick around. In fact, 71% of people will leave a site if they don't have a good user experience, if they cannot figure out how to do that or how to achieve something, and that could be related to a disability, um, that will make them leave. So we want to make sure we give them that great user experience. And if we do give them that great user experience, we'll increase our customer base. 1 in 4 adult Americans have a diagnosed disability. 1 in 4. If we can reach those folks, that's 25% more people that will engage with us. And that higher engagement means we will see better retention by having an accessible site. So we want to make sure that we're including all of our accessibility standards with that. Another key benefit that comes out of it that I didn't even think of the first time we did it was improved search engine optimization or visibility. So SEO or search engine optimization, best practices are a constant. Everybody wants to be at the top of a Google search. How do I do that? How do I improve that? Well, by having an accessible site and say adding those alt tags to images, improves search engine optimization. You're going to get to see that later in a demonstration. It also streamlines the user journey by simplifying forms, by simplifying layouts, and by adding text and making sure that everything works seamlessly, that user journey is super easy. And again, that will improve that engagement and retention. And last but not least, companies that engage in accessible sites, companies that make a commitment to having that accessible site available, or that accessible portal available, will improve their brand recognition. In fact, there's a lot of generations now that will only work with companies that meet these accessibility requirements because they want to be inclusive, that continuity, that adds to customer loyalty as well. So a lot of really key benefits for having an accessible portal. Well, how do you know if your portal today, your website today, meets those portal requirements? Well, the good news is there are a lot of tools available to us to be able to test whether or not our site meets the accessibility requirements. And these are just a list of a few. So Wave, Axe, Site Improve, Lighthouse from Google, and Microsoft's Accessibility Insights have extensions to plug into your browser to be able to determine an accessibility score. So let's take a look at an example. So I've used Lighthouse for years now. It's one of my favorite. And I'm going to bring up a website, Wasatch County. I want to see if their website meets the requirements for accessibility. And if I want to set this up, so I'm going to first pull up the site, and then you'll notice right next to that very handsome devil's picture up there, those three dots, if I click on those, I'm able to now get my menu to open up. And if I go to more tools and then developer tools, the last option, that opens up this generate Lighthouse report window. So it extends that extension where now I can take a look at, I can look at it from a desktop perspective or a mobile perspective, and I can look at performance, accessibility, best practices, and SEO. By default, I always look at all of them. And when I click Analyze Page, I get the results. And check this out. On the right-hand side, you can see the performance was a little low, and that's mostly because I've got additional extensions and I'm running it in a VM. So I'm going to give that one a pass. But accessibility, 100, a perfect score. And right beneath that, SEO, 100. That means they're really easy to find. It's 100% compliant with the SEO. And you can see they're following best practices. All green, green is good. That is an example of a website that meets those criteria, that is great for the constituents, is going to have great engagement and keep people coming back for more. Don Wood and the team at Wasatch County gets kudos for all their hard work in creating this platform and bringing it to fruition for their constituents. And how does that start? Because a lot of times people get concerned when they start talking about portals and thinking, I have to do everything. My entire website needs to be redone. And I have years of old data and bad design out there. I've had many web designers working on it, perhaps. You don't need to worry. We will guide you right through how you can get a great portal design. And here are just some key essentials that you absolutely must consider when you're thinking about doing your portal. You don't have to do everything. You can just do something. And by defining the scope of your portal, who are we targeting and what do we want to achieve through this portal, we can now take this very large, complex website or large, complex portal and focus it in on the critical few, who I want to engage with that. So define the scope, and then talk to those users and find out what's most important to that specific user group. There are usually some particular forms that they have to access regularly. They usually have to find some content regularly. Let's determine what those things are for that user so we can tailor and personalize the experience to them. We have to also ask them what self-service features are required for them to feel like they want to come to your portal. Because when I log in, I want to be able to take care of something most commonly, and I don't want to have to call somebody to take care of that item. So perhaps I want to open up a new help desk ticket. I want to be able to look at my FAQs. I want to be able to do a search and see if I can't solve it myself. And if I do need to open a ticket, I need to be able to open it directly from that portal. And I want to be able to see the status of my ticket directly from that portal. So I would have a form for submitting that ticket as one potential option, but I could have all kinds of forms, and good form design is included in our portal because most oftentimes portals include submitting of additional information. You're seeking something from them, so let's make it easy for them. And then last but not least, what are the expected outcomes? What do we want to achieve by implementing this portal? Perhaps it's improved employee engagement. Perhaps it's getting better vendor information and making sure all the tax information is there. Perhaps it's better student engagement. Or maybe you want to extend customer support. You want to reduce the number of calls into your call center because you're able to handle that through the self-service portal. And that could also improve customer satisfaction. So even something as simple as, hey, we want to make it 24/7 available to all of our constituents. We want our people to be able to get this information anytime they want, day or night. Another great reason to include in your portal design. So what tools can we leverage to really make our portal dreams come true? It's a new year, new us, and we're prioritizing people. We want to leverage the best tools possible. Well, the Hyland Content Portal, powered by Jadu, or HCP, is the first tool we're going to review. So here is an example of a government online portal. You'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, there is a register and sign-in feature. There's also in the center of the screen, this is all again 100% customized to tailor to the experience. I can put any permanent language, images, and you can see I've got the opportunity now to do things like public record searches. I can apply for a licensure, my mobile food vendor for my county, I can submit those. At the bottom right-hand corner, I've got my meeting and agenda because that's a regular occurrence. I wanted people to be able to see those very easily. I can also go do my building permitting and e-plan review down below in the middle. And last but not least, I can apply for assistance. So maybe I've got a benefit program that I want to extend out. That is all fantastic and of course 100% customizable, but because we defined our scope, we took that time up front, we know exactly what we want to have in the layout that we want to have it in. So now let's take a moment and sign in. You notice now it says hello. Now I've got a very personalized experience. So now I'm logged in as P. Smith. This is just in my demo environment. And this time I had a really good holiday and I got a brand new puppy. I'm really excited to have a brand new puppy. My brand new puppy, though, needs to be licensed. I know that because I've had to do it before. So I've logged in and now I'm going to click on register license. And that opens up my window to the license page. Very cute dog here. You'll notice I've got two dog registrations down below. So it shows me because I'm logged in, it shows me if I've already registered two. They're both still around. I've added a third for the holidays. I was so excited. Those ASPA commercials got to me, so I had to be at another one. And so now when I click on that, click here to register a dog, it now will open up my form. And this is really exciting. This is a key differentiator within the portal platform for ease of use. You can see it has a lot of the normal features for a form, like for owner's full name, we have required. So we can make fields required, we can have skip logic, but notice on the top bar, that blue bar, 1 of 4 pages. Well, that seems like a lot. What if I can't fill it all out right now? Well, because I'm logged in, I can save my progress of exactly where I am in that form and come back to it later. I can come back to it after I walk my new puppy. It's a very huge benefit for everybody in making that whole user experience better. So a really key contributing factor for why this is a really advanced feature set, having this available in our form. Additionally, another cool insider session secret about the Hyland Content Portal is we can have attachments on a form. Now, for those of you that have Unity forms and other HTML forms, you know attachments isn't really anything new. But what is really exciting is when I have an attachment on this form and I submit it, that attachment goes through a virus scan process before it ever comes into the system. That is a next level. Unity forms don't do that today with OnBase. This gives us one more layer of security. And of course, as we know, security is paramount. So really, really cool features available to you from the Hyland Content Portal. Now, I promised ease in configuration. This is the Jadu console. And you'll notice that in the center of the screen, there's that dog license template. That's that dog license form that you were just looking at. I can take this form, and on the left-hand side, you can see I've got a drag and drop function. I can pull these in and configure my form. And then in the upper right-hand corner, I just save my changes. And now those forms are updated with my new fields, all with accessible compliance in mind. But that's just the start of all the great things that the Hyland Content Portal can provide. And as I mentioned, you don't have to do the entire public website like Wasatch County. I mean, you can absolutely do that, but maybe you can just integrate with your existing portal or your existing website. And we can take your targeted audience and make this single page for them. Of course, we can save our forms online. It integrates fully with OnBase, so you can see your custom queries, your workflow statuses, your workflow actions. You can take action based on your security in there, along with WorkView. Yes, case management is included as well. Very, very powerful. Of course, you get those online responsive forms. You can manage that account registration, as I showed. You can register and, of course, manage that whole thing. And you can do payments directly from here to your existing payment processor or to any of our existing payments like Invoice Cloud or Stripe. There's numerous providers out there that we can tie into. Form signing as well. So there's the base signature along with tie-ins to DocuSign and Adobe Sign that you would expect. Of course, those upload and view document capabilities, all the features that you would want and available for your content portal. So that's our first amazing tool. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of insider information for for our first tool. But I'm going to show you a second tool. This tool is called Web UI Framework, directly from Hyland, or WOOF. That's no play off the dog license example I showed you earlier, but I like the acronym. So Web UI Framework, here's a base screen of an example demo. You'll notice on the left-hand side, we can see we've got our requests and documents, service tickets. So I'm going to show you a service ticket, a help desk example, work view, and again, we've got a forms builder and a page builder. So based on security, you have rights to that. You can also do some fun things like little surveys. Like in this case, you can see that favorite movie option. Of course, I'm not going to fill that out, but I am going to fill out a brand new ticket request. When I click on my ticket request, because I'm logged in as Michelle, you'll notice that the first two fields filled in for me. That's pretty exciting. Defaulting in information to make it easier. Again, I'm reducing friction in collecting my data and supplying that information to make it as easy as possible to work with me. And then I'm going to fill out the rest of those things. Again, I can do attachments and I can make any fields required. And then you can see that beautiful submit button on the bottom. So I submit my request, and now I can go in and take a look at my service tickets. And you can see here, ticket number 48 is a help desk ticket for Michelle. I need a new keyboard because I've spilled coffee across my desk and ruining my keyboard. They flagged it as a low priority. I might argue it's a lot higher priority. I can also update that, and you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, I've got that nice little disk icon, so I can make any changes to this. And that, of course, is just a security feature. So if I don't have rights to make changes, I can only view it. As completely up to you. So it's a wonderful way, though, to share that information. Plus, you can see the status. I don't have to call the help desk to find out where is my brand new keyboard. I can simply log in the portal and see, here's my ticket, it's in progress, and I can look for a resolution, or I can see that it was completed and look for shipping information. A fantastic opportunity. Additionally, I can extend out my work view or case management information. And in this example, it's accessing contract management. So I can get my entire list of open contracts that are awaiting statuses. So a lot of these are awaiting drafting or awaiting updates, and plus until they go active. So I can manage all of my contracts right here. You'll notice in the center of the screen, perhaps I've got an outside attorney. I don't have an on-staff attorney, but I have to interface with my lawyer, and I need to have them go through and do a few things. The portal isn't a great way to do that, because now they could log in and update the clause library or contract clauses. They could go through and review all of these contracts, update through the draft process and make those changes. And they could even go through and review internal contracts versus external contracts. Seamlessly working with the legal team and making it as easy as possible, considering they bill by the hour, is a really big advantage and another key use case for a portal. And just like with the Jadu portal, the web UI framework portal is extremely easy to configure. So here, similarly, we have our form builder, and you'll notice that our controls are on the left-hand side. For those of you that worked in OnBase Studio before, you're familiar with the left-hand side controls. In the center, we have our form. So this is that help desk request form where I've added a brand new field. This is the date field. And then on the right-hand side, you can see we've got our properties. In those properties, we can do things like default values. We can do something, especially for a date field, we can disable past dates. We can make it read only or required, a litany of things. And all we have to do is click that save button in the upper right-hand corner, and we have achieved our update. Pretty simple user interface. We love this low code style. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, where's Jeff Comer? Chris and Jeff always do these inside sessions together. Well, sadly, he took the time off, so the lucky guy is out, but he left me an amazing demo for you. And I want to show you what the talented Jeff Comer came up with in this session. So let's take a look first at a brand new example. So in this example, this is for a brand new hire. So think of an employee portal. They got my splash screen at the top. On the left-hand side, you can see using Web UI Framework, I have all my options. I even can extend out to videos. So this is a promotional video. Hey, welcome to, in this case, Hyland or OnBase. At the bottom of this screen, I have the capability to link out to additional forms, like the W4 in the I-9 form. So when I click that link, based on my browser settings, it will open up in a brand new browser window. So I can print this off, I can save it to my desktop. And on the right-hand side, you can see I can upload those directly here. And look, upload that form directly. I can also have direct forms here, like this direct deposit form. So here I can fill this out. Autofills will work. Unfortunately, in this example, the Cindy Smith did not bring back the employee ID, but that would be engaged as well based on your form design and assuming that Cindy Smith is an actual employee and that you can fill out this direct deposit form. Now, of course, it saves it, asks if you want to submit another form. In this case, we don't. We also have an emergency medical form. Fill out our emergency contacts, and of course we can have as many of these forms as we need to or update them as our life changes happen. On the left-hand side, for those of you familiar with document knowledge transfer or DKT, you know that we can take this content and extend it out where I can see in this case a no smoking policy and I have to acknowledge it, digitally proving that I know about that policy. So all of that information available, make it really easy on me as a brand new hire to be able to get all of my acknowledgements complete. And of course, I can do a document search to be able to find things like my direct deposit form, my emergency medical request form, and so on, all through a single interface, a single lens, a single pane into my OnBase system for all my employment information. I love that example. And I thank you, Jeff, so much for creating that lovely, lovely demo. Now, I wanted to show you really quickly a simple example of how you can update an existing form. So that direct deposit form that we just showed you, filling that out, look at this clean interface. We've got our form in the middle. We've got our controls on the left. We can drag and drop. In this case, Jeff's bringing in a brand new field that we're going to put on our form. And then on the right-hand side, we have our properties and our styles that we can apply. In this case, we're going to go to the property. We're going to name our field. In this case, I believe we're going to call it Jeff Field. Very, very clever name for this field on this form. Everyone's going to want to fill out Jeff's Field. Then you can see we've got some controls we can put in there. In this case, it's going to be a text field, and we could put in our label. In this case, we'll put in something simple like hello. But you can see we've got our employee name, employee ID. This means our screen readers can see it and be able to interact with this form. You can maximize the lengths and improve any of the data entry fields. You can format them as well and include any default values. So a really easy way to manage all of your content out on your portal. And this works the very same way with our pages as well. Now, when I click save, you'll notice that in the bottom left-hand corner, it tells me, hey, you're saved successfully. So now I've got my direct deposit form with my brand new fields saved and readily available for someone to submit. Thank you again, Jeff, for an amazing configuration demo. So 2 great demos on Web UI Framework. So where can you use these different portals? Well, we've seen that there are a lot of great examples, but those are just a couple. What about insurance? Maybe I need to submit a claim, or I want to look at my policy. Those are great use cases in the insurance space. In banking, many of you use online banking today. That's a portal. Having you log in and be able to see your bank account information or lending information, perhaps rate sheets would be behind a portal. Student engagement, very similar. I need to be able to see a layout of the campus, show me all my class schedules, show me all the after class activities, send me updates about any incidents, give me my curriculum. Vendor portals, I need to be able to upload my tax exempt forms. I need to be able to manage my invoices. I want to see if my invoices are paid. Stop calling my accounts payable department. Our tribal members, they need to have a login. They want to see all of their membership benefits in one concise place, make it very easy for tribal members to be able to see all the information. Employees, like Jeff just showed us, healthcare, most of us have used our healthcare information to be able to log in and get telehealth or see any of our test results directly from a portal. And last but not least, that government example, right, where we see those license applications, that could be driver's license applications or permits. Any type of permitting that's required could be managed through that portal. Also, those records requests, agenda, so many great opportunities to leverage a portal. Because when you're prioritizing people and you reimagine the portal, you can improve access to information and services from your organization. You can enhance that user experience and increase your customer base by extending accessibility to those folks that would otherwise be left out. And that improved higher engagement and retention means that you can improve your customer experience. And one great benefit is that search engine optimization, being at the top of the chart for the search and improving and streamlining the user journey, amazing benefit when we prioritize people. And last but not least, when you make things accessible and when you show that you're an accessible organization, your brand reputation increases dramatically and people want to do business with you. A lot of great reasons to go through and implement a portal today. But you might want to learn more. I mean, this was very fast. This is an insider session. And I will lead you to additional information. Jadu training. You can learn about Jadu Central Content Basic Publishing, which shows you how that screen to create the drag and drop and the layout of a page. Hyland Content Portal and Web UI Framework are both available from Hyland University. Try.hyland.com. Special insider trick, has a wonderful Web UI Framework guided hands-on class. So try.hyland.com will take you right there. You can put your hands right on it and try it for yourself. It's a very, very powerful tool. Another inspirational quote to start your year off right. The only disability is when people cannot see human potential. Do you have the potential in your portal to see all of the human capabilities? And lastly, when we prioritize people and we reimagine what we can do, anything is possible. Each one of these art creations are made by an artist named Monica Valentine. Many of you may not know Monica. She works out of the Creative Growth Studio in Oakland, California. Each one of these items are very, very shiny beads on pins that she threads on and then makes up these different art pieces. They sell for over thousands of dollars, and she's made many different art pieces. And Monica has been blind from birth. Pretty incredible art for somebody that's never been able to see. And imagine if Creative Growth Studio didn't make it accessible for her to create her craft. Imagine what you'll be able to do when you open up and make your portals accessible. Thank you so much for joining our Insider session. Prioritizing people enhancing constituent experiences through accessible portals means everybody wins. And please take a moment and connect with me on LinkedIn. Scan the QR code and join me for additional discussions as an insider session on LinkedIn. Thank you all